Joining us now to look deeper into the social media impact is writer, blogger, and social media marketer, Robyn Roste. Nice to have you with us, Robyn.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Lori.
Well, we have so much to learn. It still feels like a bit of a new world to me. And as the communications director at Insight for Living Canada, you help ministries navigate the social media world. So what are some social media trends in 2022 that rise to the top, and why should we know these trends?
Yeah, I know it can seem very overwhelming to try and keep up with the different trends of social media. There seems like there's a new platform every other day to try and figure out, and it can be just way too much. But some of the best trends we've seen at Insight for Living is just getting back to the basics. So simply figuring out how to connect with your audience. And we do that through promoting just, hey, this is what we're about. This is what we care about. And we can also just ask questions. Hey, what's your favorite Bible verse? What's a book that's really helped shape your spiritual life? And people are so excited and they're so generous with their advice. And we just love connecting with people in that way. I think the other big trend is just sharing positivity, encouraging quotes, Bible verses, things that people can take with them, carry through the day, and just have a better day as a result.
Well, we do some of that here at 700 Club Canada, and you're right, it's really important to have that two-way connection in social media, but sometimes there's challenges with that. Do you find that you put out some of these questions and the challenge is getting people to respond, or do you find that people are pretty quick to respond?
It can be challenging. I think we've had to do a lot of testing with what kinds of questions are the type that will get a good response. So sometimes maybe we'll ask something a little too personal, or it will be a little bit too long an answer, and those ones don't do as well. But if it's very short, top of mind, hey, what's your favorite Bible book?
Yeah.
Hey, who's a mentor who's really helped you that you'd love to recommend to someone else? Those are great questions.
Yeah, no, that's really great, because the connectivity in social media can be so powerful. And you serve a variety of ministries through your own business. So how can a Christian ministry or a church benefit from being on social media? What do you see as the advantages?
It's a wonderful place to really connect with the people that you serve. And it can seem a little awkward because you're an organization and not an individual. And I would say a lot of the advice that is out there is for an individual. But so as an organization, I think the best thing you can do is to make the most of it is to really figure out who you're serving. So if it's your church, where are your congregants hanging out online? Ask them. And if it's Facebook, then, make a profile on Facebook. But if they're somewhere else, then go there. And the best thing you can do is really engage with them one-to-one. Don't worry about everyone else or what everyone else is doing. Just focus on who you're serving and what they want.
That's really good advice, because you're right. It's a little different when you're a ministry or a church. You're trying to maybe feel like you have to please everybody. So that's really good advice, Robyn. Now, most people have can I say, a love-hate relationship with social media. Some are really consumed by it and others avoid it altogether. So what are some ways we can use it responsibly and in a healthy way?
Yeah, I think it's so easy to forget when you're on social media that you are very visible. It can feel like you're in this one-to-one conversation, but you're not. And you have to remember there's other people watching. So instead of reacting when you most feel like it, I think the best thing you can do is just pull back and say, hey, do I need to respond to this? Will it add any benefit to anyone by answering? If it will, okay, answer. What I try to do is be positive and encouraging in everything I say. So if I can do something helpful, or if I can add a compliment or an encouragement, I'll do that. If I don't have anything nice to say, I stick to that old advice. Don't say anything at all. Also, though, just when you're figuring out what to post, can you post something beautiful? Can you post something funny? Can you post something encouraging? Stick to those things.
I think that's really good advice. I mean, you wouldn't have to be on social media long to see that there's a lot of conflict, a lot of diverse opinions. So I don't know, is there a place, I guess, to engage in a conversation that might bring some conflict? Like, is there a place for that at all?
I think there's a place for that, definitely. I think if we can keep the respect there, then you're going to have that, it will have that resolution. So, yeah, you can, of course, have a debate. That doesn't have to be all rainbows and sparkles, of course. But yeah, just think about, yeah, is this going to be edifying? Is this going to add to someone's life? Is it going to be beneficial to them? Then yeah, have that conversation, but just keep it in a place of respect.
I think you've hit it right on with respect, because no matter what your opinion is or what you have to say, it's how you say it, right? Even face to face, that
Absolutely.
matters. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that it can be a dangerous, as you said at the beginning, make sure you realize that you are public and that you are present in these conversations, when you're interacting. So you suggest that social media can be used for authentic connection, which is great. So can you tell us one or two ways that an individual organization can authentically connect with people through social media?
Yeah, and I do believe that you can make these authentic connections. It just takes a little bit of work. So, number one, I say become a problem solver. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of complaining on social media, there's a lot of people asking questions. Well, why not try to be the problem solver? Give them a solution, give them something that can be helpful. And I think that can create these really nice pathways to just a more productive time online. And number two, a lot of people in the general mass of social media don't get a lot out of it until they join a smaller community. And so what we've seen at Insight for Living was when we asked people, hey, what do you want? What do you want from Insight for Living on social media? They said, hey, we're looking for people to pray with. And even though Insight for Living is not a prayer ministry, they thought, hey, we can support that. And they created a private group on Facebook where people can pray for one another, can share prayer requests. And it's a very safe environment because they're moderating, they're making sure that it's kept safe and that people's prayer requests are held very
Confidentially. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know what? That's a great example. And we have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week prayer ministry or 700 Club Canada through our phone lines. And we've talked a lot about creating groups. So we might have to leverage that here as well. Any final thoughts for us just before we close here?
Yeah, I think just using video is something that I would like to challenge everyone to try a little more of. So, text-based replies are wonderful, but imagine if you could respond to someone with a video. They can see your face, they can hear your tone. It's going to make such a deeper connection. So I challenge you to try that this week.
That's a great challenge. And thank you, Robyn, for your insight. And God bless you in your ministry as you help others. For more about Robyn and her business, go to 700club.ca.